Hi, I'm Tara Palaki, founder of The Feminine Space. I'm a kinesiologist who helps women to calm their minds, tap into their energies and heal naturally. So today I want to speak to you about lockdown fatigue and give you my 3 tips for things that you can do to help you navigate this time. So lockdown may or may not be a word that you like or resonates with you. So I'm going to switch that to restricted movement, a time of restricted movement, because that's what it is really when we come into these phases. And the time of recording this video, we are in the phase 2, and we're only day 2 into the month of restricted movement here in England. And there's a lot going on for people. And you might be one of these people that's really feeling it right now. I've used the term fatigue, but I do think it's bigger than that. Some people, see where you find yourself in this. You're feeling tired, unmotivated, worn out by it all. Generally, a bit pissed off by it all. Perhaps feeling very much more annoyed, frustrated, irritated, much quicker to spark than you would have been normally, even a few weeks ago. Finding yourself becoming more irritated by other people, becoming more aware of this real, that loggerheads with other people is happening quicker, and that you feel yourself beginning to, like I said before, spark, but becoming more easily angered or annoyed by those around you, and really noticing the differences in terms of how you're perceiving this particular event or situation right now, and perhaps more of a rub as your beliefs come up against one another. And these are people that perhaps you love dearly and have been really close to over the years. But you may find yourself in different places right now, or actively wanting to avoid people, certain people, situations, places, experiences, because it's really full on. There doesn't seem to be very many shades of grey around at the moment. It does seem to be very intense and very all or nothing. And so that's why I've come up with my 3 suggestions. Likewise, these are merely suggestions of things that I found helpful, and when I've shared with other women, they found helpful. But these may not work for you, they may not resonate, and that's okay too. I think it's really important that we listen to what's true for us right now, because let's be honest, none of us are really experts in this. None of us, or not many of us, have lived through a pandemic before. So we can only be true to ourselves in this moment and tune in and listen to what it is that we might be wanting or needing, and pick up the advice that works for us and kindly walk away from that doesn't. So what are my 3 top tips that I want to share with you today? The first one is look for where you do have choices right now. It's very easy to look at where you don't. And it's very easy to feel very out of control at the moment, that somebody else is making the decisions about yours or I's future, and down to even just how we can move about on our day-to-day life. At the moment, we're not allowed to be able to engage with other households. And this is just something that's so unheard of for many of us in England. Yet it's something that we've had to experience a lot of this year. And to know that somebody else has that choice and makes those decisions can leave us feeling very powerless, very out of control. So what I do want to invite you to is this idea of where you do have choice. So whilst there are restrictions on us, you will still have a lot of choices that are available to you. And I really, really actively invite you to connect with those. How you choose to spend your days, how you choose to spend your time, who you choose to hang out with, over Zoom or on the phone, the conversations that you have, the things that you make or don't make, the things that you watch or do watch. These are all your choices. So look to where you do have choice and then choose the hell out of those choices that you have, and really remind yourself that you have choices available to you each and every day. So you do still have freedom to choose, even though it may be a different landscape to what you've experienced before. And know that part of your choice may also be to retreat a little bit more, or to spend a bit more time alone, because maybe you are finding people a little bit challenging. I know that, like I say, it's very emotive out there. I say out there, as in there's lots of people in really heightened states of emotions. And that can feel difficult if you don't like conflict or anger or these really strong emotions. You tend to be more comfortable with more gentle, or just really you just don't have the energy to be listening to people when they're really, really sparked. And I get that. I really, really do. So let others have their experience, but also know that it's okay if you feel like you want to retreat a little bit and to spend a bit more time maybe away from certain people. That's okay. It really, really is okay. We've all got to do what's right for us and navigate these extraordinary circumstances with the best of what we've got right now. And that may mean that, we have to make choices about where our time and energy goes. And it might be different to how it has been for most of your life. And that's okay too. Okay, 2. Let yourself have bad moods. Not the biggest fan of good moods, bad moods, good and bad emotions and feelings, because we do get really, really groomed and conditioned. Good moods are when we're feeling happy and positive. Bad moods are when we're feeling negative and stressed. And we can get really conditioned around how we should show up, turn up and interact in our daily life, to the point where we always look for the positive in something. Have you been in those situations where something's happened and somebody goes, but at least, and you're like, no, I'm not there yet. I am not ready to hear that today. and that's okay. Have a bad mood, a bit like with the choice thing. Come back to choosing. Be where you're at right now. Have the bad moods, have the sad days, have the cries, have the anger, have the annoyance, have being irritable. And with that, also respect other people that they may not be where you are. So likewise, because I'm watching some of this where we're trying to pull each other onto each other's pages or each other's viewpoints. I do encourage you to own what's yours and let other people have their experience, and know that they just may not be in the place where they either want to or can come to where you are today. And that's okay. Again, we're all having our own experience in this. But likewise, don't force yourself out of something if it's not true for you. If you're having a bad day, you are having a bad day. And that's cool. I heard this saying, if you're having a bad day, have a bad day. Just don't camp there. And I quite like that as an idea. But if you find that you are tending to camp out in these in these heavier, harder to navigate thoughts and feelings, then do seek support of a good friend, somebody that you trust, or a therapist. Like I say, it's tough out there at the moment, and support is so key. So do look to engage it if you feel you need to. 3, my third and final point. Simplify and rest. I did a blog on this a couple of weeks ago, and a number of people that really resonated for them, this idea of simplifying their days. The pandemic has come in to a nation, generally in England, in the UK, the world, we're very, very busy. And I don't see us having moved stuff off of our to-do list to make way for the pandemic. It's just another thing that's been added to an already busy, full-on schedule. Many of us already, having a full-on to-do list, but also mentally, energetically having a full-on to-do list. And so with these big things that have come in, it can feel like just one thing too many, and overwhelm and exhaustion and tiredness and that sense of being frazzled is really common. I'm hearing it a lot, and I've experienced it a lot too. So simplify your days. Take stuff out. Say no more often than keeping saying yes. And again, this comes back to the choices. Choose the hell out of the things that you want, not because you think that you ought to or you should, because right now there just isn't that bandwidth really. So look to simplify. Do things like bake a cake, hang out with your pets, spend time on your sofa, reading, watching a film. If you end up getting a whole day done and you've done nothing, celebrate it, because that's a phenomenal achievement, especially if you're a busy go, go, go person. And the rest bit, when I work with women on their self-care, one of the top things that we have on the people's self-care plan is about rest. Have an afternoon nap. Now, this may or may not be for you, but if you are hankering after a nap, if you are exhausted, you get that 2-3 o'clock slump, have a snooze. 10 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. Or do something like yoga nidra. Put a video on from YouTube. There's some amazing yoga nidra videos. And allow yourself to just switch off and have that time out through a nap or even something like yoga nidra. So these are my things. Look for the choices you do have. Let yourself have bad moods. Simplify and rest. Kept them simple because these are full-on times. And I'd love to know what's resonated with you out of what I've shared. Likewise, I'd love to know what you're going through right now. Please do feel free to share. And if you've got any suggestions that you found super helpful, things that you've found really super helpful right now, then do share, because sharing is caring. You never know what you've been through, what you've experienced, or what's helped you might be the very thing that somebody else needs too. Okay, that's it from me today. From my heart to yours, I'm sending you so much love. Till the next time. Bye.